So, I figured Sunday streams are just gonna be like chill streams where we just play something, no gimmicks, no whatever. On Sundays we just check out like random racing games that I haven't really played yet or that are kind of obscure. And we did already start Group S challenge, which I was really surprised blew the fuck up on the VOD channel. I don't know what the fuck happened, but let me show you. For some reason, YouTube really wanted people to watch the VOD of the previous Group S challenge stream. It far outpaced anything else on the channel uploaded recently. So, like Gran Turismo 4 obviously always doing like fairly well. This particular VOD for Gran Turismo 5, where we only use cars we find on eBay, did pretty well, which makes sense. Was a creative, cool idea. But then this random stream, which by the way, like I think when I first streamed it, there weren't even that many people present because it was just a random Sunday stream at like 12 in the PM or whatever, like super early. 14,000 views for a VOD, like for this, where I'm just playing this. Absolutely bananas. So yeah, thanks everyone who tuned in and showed some interest in this weird little game, which I gotta say I still quite like. I think last time we basically figured out the strat, which is you want to basically participate in a lower level car in these like group races. Requirements for taking part in a race have not been met. I'm not sure. Do we still need to do the Group A race? It's been too long. It's been 2 weeks. But that's kind of how we did it, right? Because this game is actually quite a grind, unfortunately. So yeah, to circumvent that grind, what you do is you buy a lower spec car, a lower level car, and then you max it out with upgrades, and that way you can still keep up with the other opponents. That does actually work surprisingly well. And that way you can kind of minimize the grind by a decent margin, as it turns out. And that's obviously kind of fun, right? So here's the thing, I'm not sure why we have not unlocked the Group S race yet. I could have sworn we've already done the Group A one, or like the Group A Cup. It's kind of weird, like there's only 4 cups in the entire game, like 4 championships in the entire game. If you compare that to even the first Gran Turismo, that is, well, almost nothing, really. But, yeah, so we're probably gonna finish up this game in a really brief amount of time. And yeah, I forgot that the skyline we built here is actually very speedy, as it turns out. Can I change the units to... oh god. Let me actually retire from this. Because I was sure that you could change the... this is car settings, right? I was sure that you could actually set the units to kilometers per hour, but I'm not sure anymore. I think I just kind of forgot about it. I'm also not sure how many of the settings kind of reset since last time. So I'm just gonna make double sure. It actually turns out there are no gameplay settings here at all. Controller settings, but that's it. So we are actually sort of stuck with mouse power. Yeah, this game was called Circus Drive in Japan, and apparently circus is kind of a word Japanese people tended to use, or maybe still tend to use, to describe like circuit racing. Which I gotta be honest, I never heard of. But alright, here we are. Mouse power gadget. Yeah, finally all of the Imperial boys. Alright, you can turn off the lights, I kind of... okay, what were the exact controls? That was the handbrake, let's not pull that again. Change the location of the minimap. I'm not sure if I like it more on the top or on the bottom. I feel like bottom makes more sense because you don't really see anything there. Like, it's just the road. Top might actually kind of like overlap some like architecture you might want to look at. So I guess honestly I think this makes more sense. What the fuck is a kilometer? Yeah, the game tends to run slow. We are playing this on an emulator. And yeah, the original Xbox emulator is not very advanced yet. So we do get some slowdown if we have a bunch of other cars ahead of us. Which in this case we do. We have the entire field in front of us. We just cause some slowdowns, but if I'm fast enough, as you can see, and I can actually like get ahead. Oh, is that an Abflug Supra? That's actually sick. Yeah, I kind of forgot that this game has like a lot of fun tunes. And honestly, I think that's probably the most fun part about the game, is probably unlocking the special tune variants that exist in this game. But yeah. Makes more sense about anything other than top left feels wrong for the minimap. Yeah. I mean, since this is more of a circuit racer... I mean, actually I think... Didn't Project Gotham Racing have its minimap in the bottom as well? And to be honest, I think Project Gotham Racing is probably the best comparison for this game. Like, I called this a Gran Turismo clone, I think. It's really not that. It doesn't really have much in common with Gran Turismo. It's really more of a PGR clone. Which is funny, because PGR was on the same exact console. Like, both of them are Xbox exclusives. Plus, I don't even know if... yeah, I think the first Project Gotham Racing was a launch title for the OG Xbox. So I guess this would have come after. How's this game's handling? So, a lot of people don't seem to like it that much. I think it's alright. I gotta be honest. I think it's alright. It reminds me a lot of Grid. The first Grid game. It's not as precise. But the cars just kind of have that same... I guess the weight transfer, I guess is what it is. The weight transfer feels very, 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 very similar to the first Grid. Because in Grid 1, weight transfers were extremely powerful. Like, if you really just kind of like throw the car around, you could really get a lot of like, well, turning speed, I guess. And it's really the same way here. 5 million DPI. I still thought that looks like mobile game. Mobile game currency that we're earning. It's Walmart Gran Turismo. Racing Evoluzione / Apex. Yeah, I heard of that one too. I mean, in general, the original Xbox racing game catalog, once again, like, it's still a bit of a mystery to me. Since I obviously didn't grow up with the console, and emulation is pretty rough on original Xbox stuff. I haven't really gotten around to check out too much stuff yet. I do have an Xbox 360, so a few games that are backwards compatible I could just get a physical copy for and play it that way. But it's just not really my preferred way of playing at this point. Like, I vastly prefer emulation. So, you know, at this point I think I'd rather just wait a little bit until emulation catches up. I got time. And it's been a better experience for you guys too, because we can properly upscale the game like here. The crazy OG Xbox emulation is kind of weak. Yeah, I'm also surprised that it hasn't really like... Whoa, holy shit. Whoa! What was that? Okay. That was something really wacky with the physics just now. So we came to a standstill, but I guess the tires were still spinning at high speeds, which rapidly accelerated us. That looked so strange. Alright, I think I get it now, why people aren't like super fond of the physics in this game. I think I see it. Once again, like go back to like Xbox simulation. I'm not sure why it hasn't really progressed more. Maybe the interest is just not there. Maybe it doesn't have enough developers behind it. I don't know. I mean, some stuff you can definitely play perfectly fine, and it's mostly like a lot of the more mainstream exclusive titles like Jet Set Radio Future. Although I think that one also still has some issues as soon as you go out of the tutorial level, so Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of crazy to think about that PS4 emulation. Seems like it's making more progress at this point than OG Xbox. So it's a little unfortunate. Does the game work on an Xbox 360? I don't know. What I do know is that this game never released in Europe. So if I wanted to play it on OG Xbox, I would have to import it. And then it might not even work on my Xbox. So I would have to jailbreak it. Which I frankly do not want to do. Because it seems hella complicated. They copy physics from Mario Kart. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Once again, like I think it feels most reminiscent to Grid 1. Like a little bit rougher, not as precise. But like I said, like the weight transfer stuff feels extremely similar. I'm just gonna barge in here. There we go. What is that? There's ZX there. It's kind of cool. So in a way, this is essentially like a bargain bin grid before Grid was even a thing. But more in the style of PGR. Yeah, I also saw that people are already working on a PlayStation 5 emulator and it is actually able to boot into some games, which is ridiculous, man. I mean, I always figured that emulation is going to get easier from like the PlayStation 4 onwards. Because the actual architecture of the hardware and also partially the software is a lot more reminiscent to like a regular Windows PC. So I always figured that it should be a little bit easier to just make something happen, but I think the devil is really going to be the optimization. Like, a lot of the games are very high fidelity, lots of effects. Shader work got a lot more complex over the years, and I would assume that probably also has an effect on how hard it is to optimize emulation on the higher end consoles. So I would say probably takes around about the same amount of time as before. If we're talking just like general emulator progress, we're also making so much money here. It's actually nuts. You've read in the past that the architecture of the original Xbox seems complicated. I mean, it's pretty much true for every console from back in the day. They all use very proprietary or uncommon hardware that is really hard to kind of make work in a PC environment. I think the PlayStation 3 is like most notorious for that. It was like a cell processor of some sort, which apparently was barely ever used for anything other than servers. So yeah. Yeah, we did just drive on Monaco. Sorry, Monaco. I don't want to get people triggered again in the comments. But yeah, that was Monaco. It was kind of like a short version. There are some really interesting layouts of Monaco in this game that kind of like shorten the track in interesting ways. PS3 was the worst console to make games for. Yeah, according to a lot of developers, it was very difficult, yeah. Which is also the reason why a lot of the times games, or like multi-platform games back then, ran better on Xbox 360 compared to PlayStation 3, and at times also even looked better. And that's despite the PlayStation 3 technically being more powerful. Like it was possible to output like higher fidelity stuff, which you can definitely see with some of the PlayStation 3 exclusives, right? Like something like, I don't know, like Last of Us or Uncharted are extremely good-looking games, even by today's standards. So it was definitely capable to produce great graphics and frame rates, but it's just like for most developers, it just wasn't really worth the effort of figuring it out. It was just a nightmare. So what they did usually was just kind of like focus on the 360 version first, and then just kind of try to like backport it and make it work retroactively on the PlayStation 3 somehow. Alright, full Monaco. Recently got into PGR and consequently Blur. You like PGR a little bit more? Yeah, they're very different games for sure. I think back in the day also people weren't super happy with the direction Bizarre went in with Blur. I mean, ideally, in a perfect world, it would have just been like a fun spin-off venture for them, right? Like, oh yeah, we're gonna do our little like kart racer spin-off thing here, and then we're gonna go back and make PGR 5, but yeah, unfortunately things didn't really pan out that way. I'll admit I haven't really played PGR that much either. I think 1 and 2 I definitely have not played at all. 3 I think I actually played the most. PGR 3 I was definitely the most into. I gave it like a couple dedicated streams many years ago. And PGR 4 I think I only like briefly played. I played through the first couple of races. But by all accounts, I should definitely play more PGR at some point. And it seems like there's actually a small chance now that we could see PGR 1 and 2 on PC, which is amazing. Because Xbox started a backwards compatibility program for OG Xbox games on PC. The thing is, anything racing game related is fairly unlikely to appear there because of like licensing. But you never give up hope. And at the end of the day, I mean, maybe modders and developers outside of Xbox can just kind of like utilize the software to just kind of make other stuff work. So, you know, there's a chance. There's a small chance that PGR 1 and 2 and other games will finally be freed from the shackles that is the original Xbox. Which I would love to see, honestly. Like, the availability with, let's say PGR in particular is pretty awful. Like, if you want to experience these games, especially like from the first one to the fourth one, then yeah, I mean, you can't really get around getting an OG Xbox, unfortunately. They are backwards compatible on the 360, but they apparently run terribly there and constantly crash. And emulation for those is just not there. So you kind of shit out of luck with these games. You kind of have to get an original Xbox. Which, like, understandably, most people don't really want to do. Yeah, I think the backwards compatibility program is probably like the best chance at this point for PGR 1 and 2. You kind of make like a comeback, you know, for like a lot of people to try these games for the first time. Yeah, PGR 4 is definitely mostly playable on Xenia. You can even increase the frame rate to 60, which is nice. Not sure how it is with PGR 3. Alright, there we go. Now we're able to take part in Group S races. So, what's the Skyline a Group B car then? I could have sworn this is a Group A car. But we unlocked the final championship here. I could have really sworn that this is a group car change. No, what do I want to do? Car shop. So the idea now is not to save up for a Group S car, because that is going to take ages of grinding. Instead, what we want to do is we want to buy a Group A car and then just basically max it out as much as we can, and then compete against Group S cars. I could have sworn this guy is Group A. Is it not? It is Group A. Huh. Yeah, I think it was the fastest Group A car we could purchase. Okay, what about other Group S cars? So maybe it's something we can afford? Where would we find one then? These are definitely Group A. Honda? What about the NSX? Now it's also Group A. Also, according to the stats, actually slower. Which I don't think makes much sense. Definitely none of these. Yeah, like a Viper is pretty expensive, for example. That is a Group S car. I mean, I think I did a test in the arcade mode where I tried the Celine, which I think might be the fastest car in the game. And it wasn't that much faster. Actually, we can afford the Mustang. That is a Group S car. And we could probably afford to max it out too. That might be even better. Honestly. I think the Corvette might be Group S as well. I'm not sure if it's faster. It's definitely cheaper. I think the Viper is... I mean, we could grind a little bit for the Viper, but... kinda not really feeling it. Roof. I think the RR is gonna really kick my ass. Although I gotta be honest, I didn't really feel much of a difference with drivetrain times in this game. They feel very samey. How about a TVR? Could almost get a Griffith. Has horrible stats, but I mean, I guess at that point you just want to get the Tuscan. I think I want to try my luck with the Mustang. Yeah, Mustang might be the best bet for sure. I mean, let me quickly compare the stats again. Oh, this one's actually cheaper than the Corvette. So it seems to have decent stats. 391 horsepower. And the Corvette. Maybe the Corvette is the better choice. No. I think Mustang's the better. I'll give it a shot with the Mustang. So let's grab that one. And make sure we can mix it out. Let's see. I do think the value of the parts, it doesn't have turbo tune. Interesting, yeah. I was about to say, yeah, the pricing definitely increases. I think I would focus on the handling first, because we should be able to afford better handling, and I think that does make a big difference. Because the opponents are really slow in corners, so if you can capitalize on that, that is definitely a good thing. Install it. So we're still missing brake and NA tuning. What we could try is to do like one race. If we can win a single race, there's a good chance we get a ton of money that would help us to max out the car. Let's see. What would be the easiest? I'm not sure. Honestly, it might be Shibuya or Monaco. I'll give Shibuya a try. I mean, honestly, the points don't seem that stacked even. The Viper's gonna be a little hard to beat, but I mean, it's the fastest car at the very least here. But let's see. I think we definitely at least need the performance upgrade. Just ram everyone out of the way. And spin out the roof. Fantastic. That's a great start. Yeah, I gotta be honest, the music is not bad. It's very quiet for me. I don't have headphones on. But it is actually quite nice. It's very, very early 2000s, obviously. Yeah, I think the Mustang doesn't handle as well as the Skyline from earlier, but I think that's okay. I gotta also say, like, the brakes are really, really strong in this game to the point where I'm not sure if upgrading the brakes is even worth it. Like, they seem so strong already. On the straight, I think we're gonna have the Viper trying to overtake, but actually it's the roof. Whoa, okay, rip my speed. I think this track still has a lot of straights, which is a problem. I think Monaco would have been a little bit easier. But let's say we don't need to win this, we just need to earn some money. So we can max out the car and then we can go back into this and try to beat the whole thing. That Forza strategy. They do work surprisingly well here. I'll just try to go for a dive bomb. Okay, never mind. I forgot how quickly the cars turn in this game. It also applies to the opponents, so it's not actually... it's not that easy to go for a dive bomb. Okay, we could at least pass the Viper, and the problem is there's no look back button. So I have to kind of use this. Although I could have sworn I used the look back last stream. I kind of forgot what button it is. I feel like I tried all of the buttons. Okay, maybe now we could go for dive bomb. Yeah, that didn't really help us much though. Yeah, no, I can't out accelerate him unless the Viper pushes me. No, okay, we'll have to settle for a second, but I think that's gonna be fine. Unless, holy crap, Viper sneaking up on me, man. God damn. Okay. Yeah, that's 10k, which actually I think is not enough. It's at least not enough for the brake upgrade as well. Okay, actually we only have 11. It might not even be enough for the NA tune. And we need 20k for that. So let's do one more race, but let's try Monaco this time. I think we're gonna have an easier time there. Viper almost spoiled it, yeah. I think we should be doing a little bit easier here. Also, it's reverse. That's gonna feel very strange. Monaco in reverse. Not sure if there's any real life races. Or if there have been any real life races in the past. Where they did Monaco in reverse. There's a Celine in there and it's also starting in second, so it's probably just gonna take off and leave us in the dust. But it really all comes down to how good the opponents are in the corners here. I do feel like with some extra horsepower we can definitely beat the tournament though. Like this Mustang is definitely good enough. Okay, I can just go full speed through that next time. Yeah, reverse Monaco. I mean, it does make sense, like this, for a game that only has effectively 3 tracks. You do want to provide as many different layouts as possible. And that does include reversing them. Even if, you know, in the case of Monaco, it's super, super, super weird. But yeah. Actually, I think there was like an F1 game. I'm not sure which one it was. But one of the newer F1 games made like a big deal out of like, oh, you can now drive tracks in reverse. Like, as if it's like some kind of like groundbreaking new feature that no racing game has ever done. Which, first of all, is like really funny and really, really stupid. But second of all, if there's like one racing game where I would say reverse layouts make no sense, it's like the F1 games. It's like the one racing game where I'm like, yeah, this makes no sense here. Like, it's just... I don't think anybody asked for that, you know? Yeah, I think a mirrored mode would have been a good idea here. I mean, it would have made everything feel even more cursed. Like this... Can you imagine, like, doing Monaco GP, not only in reverse, but also mirrored? Like, at that point, it feels like a completely different track altogether. But mirror mode might have been, like, an easy way to get even more mileage out of the 3 tracks that they added in this game. Okay, we actually beat the Celine pretty hard. Like, the Celine is definitely much faster than the Viper and the Roof from the previous race. And we managed to beat it quite hard. So winning on Monaco is actually pretty easy. Due to all of the weird turns that the AI can't really take properly. Yeah, mirror mode is definitely more interesting than reverse layout as well. That really makes the track feel completely different. And usually it doesn't really mess with the... it doesn't mess with the integrity of the track too much. Like, a lot of tracks in reverse just don't work. Like, they don't flow. That's the thing. But in mirror mode, obviously, everything is still the same. You just press the other direction the entire time. So that, you know, works a lot better. Okay. It's funny how it always just adds 30 horsepower no matter what. No matter if it's NA tune, turbo tune, no matter what car, no matter how expensive they are upgraded, always adds just 30. Like, in like 10 horsepower increments. It's super weird. Okay, but that's the Mustang fully maxed out. So now we could try to tackle the Group S event as a whole. I'm not sure if the opponents re-roll and stay throughout the entire race or throughout the entire championship, because this is a horrible lineup here. I think it's worth redoing or like restarting the cup a bunch of times until we get a layout that is more favorable. But once again, I haven't really paid attention. I'm not sure if the opponents stay the same. Yeah, that seems much more manageable. The Camaro is slow, that's pretty slow. The Corvette, I think, should also be slower than ours. Really, only the RGT is dangerous here. And I think the RGT wasn't even that fast. There was an RGT earlier when we tried this track. And it was a Roof CTR that actually beat us pretty hard. Yeah, it's same strats as in Gran Turismo 4, but the thing is, I don't know if it actually works. That's the thing. I don't know if it actually works in here. Yeah, that's the thing. I think the opponents change every race. I mean, you can still do this to ensure that you at least win the first race. Also, I guess I completely missed that there is in fact a roof CTR in here. So that way you can at least make the first race a little bit easier, but yeah. Yeah, this was such a horrible start. I think I'm just gonna try again. It was an okay layout. An okay lineup, I guess, of opponents. That seems pretty horrible. I mean, if it really is just the first race and the cars re-roll every race, it doesn't really matter too much, I guess, but might as well try. One thing that I will give the game credit for, loading times are pretty fast here. That's something you didn't really have that much back then. Okay, fuck it, we'll try it. Usually back then, especially on the PlayStation 2, loading times were pretty bad. At least, speaking from today's perspective. This game has surprisingly fast loading speeds. Though I'm not sure if the emulator is messing with those. There's a good chance that the emulator speeds those up as well. Okay, let's try to get a better start this time. In fact, I'm just gonna try to dive bomb here. That's fine. This breeze is not that fast. I'm really mainly concerned with the roof here, this one. Dude, holy, okay, yeah, the AI does not give a fuck in this game. They do not care about your presence whatsoever. Oh my god. I think the championships were points-based, right? Or was it like a knockout thing where you need to at least get top 3 on all of them? I kind of forgot about it. Loading speeds depended heavily on whether the game was CD or DVD. I kind of forgot about that, yeah. That does make a difference, for sure. Holy bounce. Okay, that was nice. Yeah, the roof is still faster than us, even despite the upgrades. Yeah, you can't really do much in terms of like just raw speed of the car. You can improve the handling massively, so that way you're way faster in corners. Like the tire upgrades and the weight reduction, they do a lot in this game. But yeah, as far as performance goes, it's like the extra 30 horsepower is really. That's really it. Which, especially with these like higher performance vehicles, it doesn't really do much anymore. Loading speeds on OG hardware feel the same as if it was Gran Turismo 3 or 4. Okay, then in that case, I think the emulator does speed up the loading times. Then it is definitely thanks to the emulator. Whoa. I kind of forgot if there was a look back button. I want to accidentally press something. I feel like there was one button. I forgot. Alright, I think we have this in the bag though. Alright, nice. Nice. I mean, even if we somehow can't win the championship, we earn so much money here that we can easily just get a faster car. Yeah, the opponent's definitely reroll. That doesn't really make this a proper championship. Also means that you can't really cheese these. And just roll better opponents like in Gran Turismo 4. Or 3, I guess. There isn't any Gran Turismo really. You just kind of have to roll with the punches. This time we have a Celine. Yeah, I think the Celine is probably the worst car we could get as an opponent. Because it is pretty much the fastest car in the game. I'm not sure if the opponents are upgraded here at all. Actually, can we wall ride this? I'm gonna try it. Absolutely fucking not. Shit. Oh, that would have been great. That was quite possibly the worst wall ride attempt I've ever seen in my life. I would say the Celine is most definitely gone by now. It has such a massive lead, it's not even funny. Yeah, that wall ride was a hard no from the game. Like a hard hell no, man. Don't even try, lad. Okay, get out of the Viper at all costs. Block it. Oh my god. There must have been a look back button. I'm not sure why I'm not really finding it anymore. Is there really no look back button in this game? I feel like I've done that last time. To be ranked number 1 for all entry. I think it's fine as long as you're in top 3. Can I check this out here? You can change this if you want. Actually, can you... You can't... There's no tuning of this. You can just change the parts. I'm not sure why you would do that. I guess you can change the transmission. It's really the only thing you can do here. Not sure why you would revert parts back to stock or whatever. There's no point to do this. The only thing you can tune is the transmission here. Okay, I think we got slightly lucky with the lineup this time. I swear there was a look back button in this game. One thing that I'm also noticing now, I'm not sure what it depends on exactly, but the weather and time of day varies on the different layouts. Like this one is a little bit more stormy weather here. Dude, Man, sometimes, like, I don't really understand the physics. Like, sometimes you bounce off of them with relatively small speed penalty, and sometimes it just hard stops you. There's no consistency with it. Why'd you buy an OG Xbox? It's not that expensive. I can be honest, I don't know how expensive they are. I never checked. I just don't want to play on one, that's the thing. Like, figuring out how to do the capture is going to be a nightmare for the stream. Might honestly require me to buy additional hardware as well, and that could get really expensive. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of hassle for an image that looks pretty bad for you guys. Like, it's not going to look pretty on stream. It's just not really worth the hassle for me. Like, at this point, I'd rather deal with, like, somewhat shoddy emulation. Or just wait until emulation gets better in general. That's the better trade-off for me, honestly. Obviously, if you personally want to play on an OG Xbox, by all means, knock yourself out. There's not like anything against like using original hardware at all, but just for like stream content, it's not something I'd want to do. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Turn around, turn around. That's one way to solve the problem. It's on 360, no. This is an original Xbox game. But do we actually know if this is backwards compatible on the 360? Because not all games were, I think. And he's immediately back. What? Are you kidding me? What the fuck is wrong with you? Dude, I spun you around. You were pointed the other way. How are you already back? I call cheating. I call cheating on that. That is not real. That is unreal, dude. Absolutely unreal. Should have saved the replay and check it out. Okay, this race seems super cooked. Because we have a Celine here and there's like 2 long straights, so... Yeah, I'm not sure if I can beat the Viper to it even. So I would say best we can do here is probably top 3 if we can beat the TVR. Yeah, I think emulating this game on a hacked 360 is not going to be better than just emulating this on PC. I'm not sure how different the emulator is on the 360, but I can't imagine we get better results than here. Game looks quite fun. It is alright. Like I gotta be honest, like the actual racing is not bad. Actual racing is enjoyable. The main problem is just really the lack of content. Like you have only 4 championships and 3 tracks in this game. That is like the lowest amount of content I have ever seen in a racing game. That isn't a demo. Like what's here is good. It's just not enough, you know. It's the kind of game where I think a sequel would have really done a lot. Like a Group S Challenge 2, I think could have gone pretty hard. If they just take what they have here, the base, they just kind of refine it a bit, polish it, and then just add more stuff. I think then this actually could have been a great racing game. But as is, it's kind of hard to recommend. Like, I'm glad I checked this out for sure. I definitely had fun with it, but it's not something I see myself ever coming back to, you know. Yeah, there's even less content than in Gran Turismo 5 Prologue, which is insane. I mean, hell, I'd say that even like Gran Turismo Concept had more content. I think the only racing game I can come up with that had less was Gran Turismo 2002, but I mean, by all accounts, that's a tech demo, right? That is nowhere near a full game. Gran Turismo HD Concept. I think... Yeah, I think HD Concept has less as well, but once again, like, it's a tech demo, you know? Like, having more content than a tech demo isn't really... isn't really something you should be proud of, you know? It's like the bare minimum. Oh god, that was not good. Yeah, you got a decent lead to the Celine, interestingly enough, because I managed to, like, really push it into a wall, but I think that lead is going to be eaten up now. Trying hard not to bounce against the wall there, but I just can't really make it work. Okay, that was a really fast corner, so we might actually be good. There's no way the AI takes corners this fast. We actually got a first place here, wow. I really didn't think we would against the Celine and the Viper, but hey, can't be surprised. I think the thing is, like, it's really all about the corners in this game. Like, if you can take the corners well, you can win pretty much anything. That's really what it's about. Okay, final race. If we win this, I think we might have beaten the game. I think we might beat the game here. And considering this is Monaco reverse, which I think we already pretty much won last time to farm some money, I would say there's a good chance we can beat the game here. I'm not even sure what happens. If you beat the game, it's definitely also a really short game if you know what you're doing. Like I said earlier, the strat of taking like a lower level car and then just upgrading it to the maximum so that you can beat the championships that usually require a higher level car. Definitely make it a lot easier or a lot faster to beat the game. But yeah, if you don't do that, there's definitely a lot of grinding required, which I think with the lower amount of content this game has, is not something you really want to do. I'm also surprised that the roof is far faster than the Celine here. I need to kind of lock in for this, actually. This is not as easy as earlier. This game is playable on the 360, but has a ton of issues. There tends to be, unfortunately, kind of normal. Okay, I misjudged the corner. I thought we were doing the hairpin. That is unfortunately quite common. If you try to play OG Xbox games on the 360, like a number of them have all kinds of issues. Once again, the PGR games are pretty notorious for how poorly they play on on the 360. I'm actually getting super beaten by this roof here. Not sure if I can still catch up. Maybe if I take the corners here perfectly, but... I don't think I will. I don't think I will. Because the handling is... It's not bad, but it's very imprecise. You just kind of throw the cars into the corners and hope for the best. And if you nail it, it's very satisfying and fun. But more often than not, you're not going to nail it. And that way, it kind of reminds me of Grid 2, where you just kind of like throw the cars into the corner and hope for the best. Ah, maybe. Nah, there's no way. He has the faster car, but we got close. Okay, that should be fine enough though. Like, you only need to get a top 3 finish here. So, progress for next race. You could not reach the prescribed position. What was the to be ranked number 1 for all entry? I guess, wait, does it mean I had to win the last race, or does it mean I have to win all of the races? The game isn't really in general, like the translation is horrible for this game. Like, so many things I just don't understand. Like, this mode is literally called Line. What the fuck does that even mean? Some of the worst translation I've ever seen. But it's okay, we earned a lot of money from that. With that, we could buy a faster Group S car, like for example a Viper here. Which I think should... Yeah, it's already faster as is. I want to take a look at the roofs, because they seemed really competitive earlier. And I don't think they're that expensive. Okay, the CTR2 is pretty pricey. It comes with 519 horsepower. There's no handling. But the cars all handle roughly the same, so... it doesn't really matter. I think I would try the Viper. I think I'd try the Viper. The Tuscans are not much faster. So I would give that a shot. I don't think we have enough money to max it out, but that's okay. It should already be faster than the Mustang we had. But we do need to upgrade it. I'm not sure what I should do first. We could do tires and suspension. I think those two should do a lot for the handling, which I think is going to be the biggest problem with this car. So let's do those. We haven't done a line event with an S-class car, so we could try that. I do think these don't really give you enough money anymore to be worth doing. But let's see. These definitely get harder, I can tell you that much. As you get faster cars. Which makes it way harder to get it perfect. To the point where I wouldn't even recommend going for it. Instead, just try to beat the target time. I will say the car doesn't feel that much faster than the Mustang from earlier. I mean, the Mustang was upgraded, so... that might have gotten something to do with it. Oh shit, I'm missing all of these. I mean, you do still have to collect them, because they are what essentially gets multiplied at the end of the event. This time is a 106, that's crazy. But yeah, we definitely easily have the A rank here, which gives us the maximum multiplier. The pickup effect is super annoying, yeah. Hey! Wait, someone donated? Since when? Trustar, thank you so much for the dono. Appreciate it. Yeah, everything's going fine. Thank you so much. Okay, so we get a group bonus of 16x for... Yeah, this is not worth it anymore. The line races are 100% not worth doing anymore. That I can absolutely guarantee you. Okay. So it's best to just do races at this point. Let's try this here because it's the shortest one. I think we might be fast enough. I think we lost this in the Mustang earlier, but let's try it with the Viper. Viper doesn't sound like a Viper. Yeah, the engine sounds in general are not great here, but that's true for a lot of racing games from this era. I wouldn't really hold it against it. Like Gran Turismo had awful engine sounds. The first Forza had awful engine sounds, or car sounds in general. I'm not sure about PGR 1 and 2, though those actually might have had pretty good engine sounds for their time. It's crazy how fast the roofs are here, man. I'm just gonna kill him. Yes, there we go. He's gonna be back by the halfway point of the next lap anyways. Let's be honest. With the way things are going. Yeah, I guess the Need for Speed games had pretty good ones, yeah. Like Hot Pursuit 2. Had pretty damn good engine sounds, yeah. But yeah, the point that I want to make with that is that good car sounds were more of a rarity than the norm in the early 2000s. See, like it's already up in second. This is ridiculous, man. What kind of rubber band devil is in this game? Absolutely absurd. But it's fine. We're still just farming money here. So there's that. Rubber and tech is more advanced in the game. It's the most advanced part of the game. For all we know. Okay, it's not enough to max it out, especially because I imagine the parts are probably even more expensive on this, yeah. So, do we get the weight reduction or do we just get the performance? I think we're still losing on a straight line mainly. That's the thing. So I get the NA tune here. And maybe that's already enough. Maybe that already makes the Viper good enough. I think not having the weight reduction definitely is gonna suck. But I think we could give this a serious attempt. Let's see. Almost ready for a new Hot Wheels game. Yeah, I'm curious about the new Hot Wheels game. It seems fun. I did like the previous two Hot Wheels games. I feel like it's lost a bit of charm with open world, because it just seems like a generic open world, you know. I think what made the Hot Wheels Unleashed game so special is that you really felt like you're driving a toy car, you know. You're this tiny little vehicle on big tracks in like a massive environment, like an environment that feels really, really, really big. And I think that made a lot of the charm. And I'm definitely going to be missing that in... what was it called? Infinite Rush? What was Infinite Rush? No, that's not right. Something Rush. Like, it might be more fun at the end of the day with open world activities. It really remains to be seen, but... Yeah, that charm is, I feel like, is kind of gone, unfortunately. At least for me. I think the weight reduction would have been really nice, especially for acceleration, which we're kind of lacking still. It is Infinite Rush, okay. And yeah, Recreation 2, I'm not sure what to say. At times it felt like I was like that game's biggest hater, which like honestly I didn't even want to be. But I mean, hey, a bunch of stuff changed behind the scenes with the studio. As always, I wish every game developer best of luck with their project. I don't ever want to see like a game fail. That doesn't make me happy or anything. But yeah, I mean, understandably, I have no confidence left. Understandably, my confidence is gone in whatever they're making these days. I'll watch other creators play the game and then see. But yeah, I for one just don't really have like massive like interest. Although I think they're developing Recreation 2 more in support with the community now. Like you can get like a super early build of the game and you can test it and give feedback, and apparently they have like their own Discord server where you can give them feedback and ideas, and they take that seriously. And look, maybe that makes a difference. But yeah. Like I saw some people were kind of like upset that they dropped the first Recreation. Basically, like, I mean, they did update it up until like April, I think, which is honestly like not bad. I guess they never really addressed any of the core issues, but I think the core issues you can't just fix in updates. You can, like, you would need to just completely like redo that game essentially to fix its most glaring issues. But I think it's understandable if you know what's going on behind the scenes. Like, they're not seeing any revenue from Recreation anymore. Like, that is all going 100% to the publisher, and I think even they don't really see many profits anymore from Recreation, because that game was such a flop and it didn't really impress anybody. So, like, I understand why they just immediately moved on to the next project. Especially because, like, yeah, as I said earlier, like, I think you can't fix the first Recreation. You just can't. You can kind of polish it a little bit. You can add more content, but like, what does that do? It doesn't really make anybody happy, I think. Unless you liked the game before. I mean, if you liked the game before, like, then obviously you should be kind of happy with your purchase. As far as I can see, it's just not a ship worth saving, or just generally like unsavable. Like, you would have to completely redo the entire map. You would have to like redo the progression. You would have to redo the physics from scratch. Like that's not possible in update, and it's not worth doing either, I think. Like, just financially. So it makes sense that they just made the next game, especially since they currently, outside of their Patreon, which I don't even think is that successful. They do have like public numbers, like how much they're making with the Patreon. I think it's like $1,800 per month, which, like, for a solo developer would be decent. You could definitely sustain yourself with that, but if you're a team and you have or you want to have a studio, no. That is not even close to enough, you know? So, yeah, I understand why they just went ahead and And I fucked it up royally. Holy shit, I might actually lose the entire thing. Yeah, I lost the entire thing. That's fine. But yeah, I understand why they just immediately went to make the second game. So that they at least have some kind of like cash flow. I think what they should do is release it in early access. I feel like every game from them has felt like an early access game. So why not just release them in early access? Especially since they are already clearly developing the games with the community in mind. So just make it early access. That way people can kind of like temper expectations. Did we? Yeah, we already have this, right? I guess the only thing we don't have is brakes. I think it would be just kind of like the best way to go about it. Like release Recreation 2 for like very cheap. Like I think Recreation 1 was $40, which was like way too much. But I think putting out Recreation 2 in early access for $20, I think is fair. I think that's very fair. I mean, it's essentially what they did with Wreckfest, right? Like Wreckfest was initially called Next Car Game, was also released in early access, and it was released so early. Like it was basically just a tech demo in its early years. Like for the longest game, that game did not have like anything. It didn't have a progression. It didn't have a campaign. It didn't have maps. It was basically just a playground essentially, kind of like BeamNG was for a while. And I think that really worked wonders for that game. Like Wreckfest is a genuinely phenomenal game these days. And you could really see how much that game improved over time. I think it's in large part thanks to them like really releasing it early in early access before the game even had a proper name. And just applying every bit of feedback that they could get. Yeah, exactly, it released as a tech demo essentially. Exactly. That game just released as a tech demo. But the thing is, people knew exactly what it was, right? Like, it was priced very fairly for that. And they were really, really transparent. So no one had any issues with it, right? Like, everyone was perfectly fine with what they got. Especially because the tech demo... Whoa, okay, that's Celine almost. Almost ate shit. Especially because the tech demo itself was really good, right? Like, it was a good tech demo. Like, it was fun to just kind of mess around in that game. Because once again, it was a time before BeamNG was really a thing. At least I think. But I think they honestly should just do the same with Recreation 2. Just release it for $20 in early access as it is. Like, they're already giving people access to the game anyways. And I highly doubt the game has much to do at the moment anyways. Mostly... Oh, you have got to be fucking kidding me, dude. It's probably going to... It's still mostly just a map, basically. That, as far as I understand, is also not finished. Like, it's going to get still heavily changed. And then maybe over, like, the next 2, 3, or maybe even 4 years, you can kind of shape it into a decent game that people are happy with, and then obviously, like, increase the price when it releases in, like, as a full game. I will say the last event here, by the way, is extremely difficult. Like, we should have a decent car here. Like, the Viper is far from the worst. But as soon as you get a Celine in here or a CTR2, you are in for a world of pain. Like, that is so unbelievably difficult here. Like, you need to take all these corners perfectly, and even then, you're still lagging behind. Like, the only way to have, like, a somewhat reasonable race here is if you just get a Celine yourself, but that requires you to do 10 first place finishes here. And to be able to afford it, and that's without upgrades. But once again, I'm not sure how this works. Like, the game is not precise enough with its descriptions. I'm not sure if I just need to finish the last event in first or all of them. Like, I just got a second place. Does that already mean I lost? If so, why can't I continue? Why do you let me continue these races here? I don't quite get it. Yeah, it sounds like, I mean, it would make more sense if I had to win every race, for sure. And that is extremely frustrating, I will say. That is unbelievably frustrating. If you have a 5-race tournament, each race being extremely difficult, and if you get anything less than first, you basically have to start over. That is straight garbage, man. It's just, I think that is kind of like obvious that the developers are kind of compensating for the lack of content by just extending the playtime massively with difficulty and how much you need to replay. But I mean, let's see. Oh my god, einer spannend. Because the way I see it with this is you kind of have to get a Celine yourself. Maybe the CTR2 is good enough as well, but I think the handling on that is going to be so atrocious that you won't be able to properly control it through the track. So you have to basically farm 200k for the Celine and then farm... Oh my god, you have to get the game. The fact that there's no look back button is so horrible, man. It's so bad. You have to get a Celine yourself, and then you have to upgrade it with the most expensive parts that the game has. And only then do you actually have a reasonable chance to win these. It's horrific, dude. Yeah, I'm not sick anymore. I haven't been sick in a couple days. Dude, I have to kind of rant about this, like a super random rant. But I got sick in the gym. I'm very sure. It's the first time I got sick in the gym, which is kind of annoying because when I went, it was the first time in like 7 or 8 weeks that I went to the gym. For various reasons I couldn't go. And I know exactly why I got sick. Because people stopped cleaning after themselves in the gym. Like in the gym you have like a bunch of like disinfectant spray and or paper wipes, right? And if you are a good and responsible gym goer, you clean up after yourself, right? Like, so you just kind of wipe down the machines that you just used, because leaving them sweaty is really disgusting. And when I started going to the gym, like roughly like 2.5 years ago, people wiped off the machines fairly regularly. Like not everyone did it, because it's not like you know, it's not like required. Like the gym doesn't require you to do that. It's more of an etiquette thing. But when I started going, I would say like 1 in 4 people roughly wiped off the machines, which I gotta be honest isn't a lot, but it's at least something. These days, I'm the only idiot who still does that. I am the only person in the entire fucking gym who still does that. I feel like an idiot sometimes doing it when no one else is doing it. Even people... What is going on with the physics? Wait, why is the car drifting? What the fuck? Even people who I know 2 years ago were wiping the machines, stopped doing it. Everyone stopped doing it. Everyone who I noticed 2 years ago were wiping the machines, stopped doing it. I'm the only one in the entire gym who still does that. What the fuck? Sorry, but what the fuck, man? And that is 100% the reason why I got sick. Because I had a fairly lengthy break of going to the gym. And someone in the gym was probably sick. Right? And I just kind of like... got in contact with their sweat. And that sweat somehow like entered my body or my bloodstream. And then I got sick somehow. Infuriating. Like I was so infuriated about that. I'm still thinking about quitting the gym and just doing my workouts at home. Just it's disgusting, man. The obvious solution for that is that I wipe the machines before I use them and not after I use them. But I gotta be honest, if I gotta start cleaning up after people, I can just stay home. If I gotta clean up after other people just because they're too fucking lazy to clean up after themselves, if I gotta start doing that, I'd rather stay at home. That is what I have to think. See what the car's doing? Like if you had high speeds, the wheel starts spinning out even when you're just slightly turning. Super weird. But yeah, I just kind of had to rant about that. Like, genuinely, it feels like people are just getting more nasty. Yeah, that's the thing. It was a COVID leftover, right? Like disinfecting stuff, but it was a good thing, honestly. It's the same with wearing a mask if you're sick, right? Like if you go outside, you should wear a mask if you're sick. It was something that Japan has been doing for decades, and for good reason. But it feels like people just kind of stop doing all these things now, and getting more and more lazy, which I find aggravating. Especially like it doesn't even make sense, right? Like when you're in the gym and you just used a machine, and you want to use another machine, usually you're gonna give yourself like 2 minutes of a break anyways, so that your body can just kind of recover. You can catch your breath, right? You're gonna have like a 2-minute break anyways. So in those 2 minutes, why not just clean up after yourself? What else are you gonna do? You're just gonna sit down on the next machine and grab your phone. You can still do that. It takes like 30 seconds to clean the machines. I don't get it. It's so aggravating. Once COVID ended, people stopped caring. Yeah, I mean, people were forced to care more about like hygiene and stuff. For good reason, obviously, but yeah, it's kind of sad that none of the actual like good etiquettes stuck around. Very, very frustrating. It was rather slow. Please give me a look back button game. I don't want to switch cameras every single time. I'm also surprised that I'm still getting gapped so much by the roofs. I don't really get it. We should be matching horsepower roughly with the upgrades. I think that car only has like 10 horsepower more. So I don't understand why it's catching up so much. Unless the opponents also have upgrades applied. Oh shit. What's car that's in 4th place? I don't know. Is there a way to check? I mean, I guess we could check after the race. We can see the lineup again. That's not good. Okay, we had a semi-fast corner here. Do not let the roof past. Okay, I think we're good. Alright. Was it Tuscan, unless the positions changed. But there you go. That was the whole lineup. Okay, let's try this again. If we win this, we will have won all of these races except the second one. I'm really curious to see if it'll still let me through the championship. If I could bring back a racing franchise, what franchise would it be? Driver. Easy. As much as I like the first crew game, it's hard to accept that the crew essentially killed the driver series, because Ubisoft was like, why the fuck do we need 2 racing game franchises? A Midnight Club is also very valid answer. You know what, I would even go as far as say Midnight Club, probably more valid. Because we don't really have like a big AAA illegal street racing game anymore. At least until Clutch comes out. But even then, Midnight Club is very different. Like, Need for Speed is kind of buried at this point. So, you know what? Valid. Very, very valid. Dude, I'm not used to this track in reverse. I feel like there's like a... I always feel like there's a hairpin coming up, but there isn't. It's just a regular ass corner. Holy shit. How were you so much faster there? Impossible. I'm not even sure which cars I think are faster here, the CTRs or the Salines. I kind of want to say the roofs here, the CTRs. So maybe we should get one of those instead. If I lose this and I need to continue. Yeah, that's a good question. So the studio that worked on Driver San Francisco was put to work on the Watch Dogs games. But the Watch Dogs games are also not being made anymore, so... What's happened to the studio that made Driver now? I don't know. I'd imagine some of them probably got reintegrated into like Ivory Tower to work on the crew, and then other developers maybe do something else. Like they just kind of got scattered across various Ubisoft studios. All right, you could not reach the prescribed position. Okay, so you have to get first everywhere. If you get second anywhere, you're fucked. I don't want to do this again. I gotta be honest, I kind of don't want to do this again. Is there anything else we can mess around with? We could maybe try to unlock, because we do get a lot of money now, at the very least. So we could try to at least unlock some of these special cars here. It's worth doing this at the very end, I think. Because at the end you earn a lot of money, so you can just buy all of the cheap cars really easily. Let's do this instead. So we can get a Nismo here. Nismo Skyline. Oh, we need to buy an NSX and an Impreza for this. Okay, I see. So this only blinks if you have some of the cars. Okay, I see. I would say this is probably the most fun part of the game here. I would recommend you guys, if you play this yourself, to just do this here. And ignore the regular championships. Maybe at least unlock the final one so you can get 20 mil per win. But is there anything in particular I wanna get here? There's an Impol Primera. Very interesting. Any car that looks particularly interesting? We got this one, which funny enough was not any faster than the regular... than the regular Civic. I think there was an Abflug Supra. This one. That's actually kind of cool. I think I want to get that one at least. Blitz Supra also kind of cool. D-Speed. It has a lot of cars here. It's D-Speed, which I never heard of, honestly. That looks hideous. Yeah, these are checked. Let's try to get the Abflug Supra, because it's kind of cool. For that, we need to jump into the Skyline first. There we go. Maybe it lets me select the car here, actually. Maybe I don't need to even change the car. Holy launch, okay. Was not very elegant. Can you just look at this game on serious consoles? Pretty sure you can't, you know. Like, if you want to play this, you need to get a physical copy of this. But it shouldn't be that expensive, honestly. If it is available for you, like if this game released in your country, basically, you have an easy time finding it. Okay, what else do we need? This one and the RX-7. I mean, you can honestly just buy like a bunch of cheap cars. Just off the riff. Because these don't really cost as much by now. And then, what was the other car that we needed? I already forgot. I don't think you can win any S-Class cars here. That's not the car I want to go for. The game is called Group S Challenge. It says so in the description here at the bottom of the screen. Was an Xbox exclusive game from... Actually, I don't even remember when this game came out. Was it 2002? ...2003, okay. Slightly off. Ah, shit. I really love to just stop you in your track sometimes if you hit a wall at an awkward angle. But I would say in 2003, you definitely had much better options already available. Like even for its time, I don't think this was very recommendable. You know, like you already had the first Project Gotham Racing, which, you know, that was a launch title for the Xbox. On the OG Xbox, I think you only needed to wait 2 more years for Forza, which I think that really blew everything out of the water that the OG Xbox had. PGR 2 came out the same year, so you only needed to wait a couple of days maybe, or maybe it already came out. And we need RX-7. It's just not, it doesn't really, I don't know, fulfill any like purpose that other games don't already do a lot better, you know. As far as I can see. There's maybe like a few cool or quirky cars in here, like the Punto, for example, but other than that, it's mostly stuff you've already seen in other racing games as well. Like, colorless isn't really anything super crazy either. I think the main thing are really these like tuner cars here. That's cool, like earning all of these and giving them test drive. I think that could be fun. That's probably actually where the most amount of fun in the game is, I would say. And the fact that you can manually toggle the lights is kind of cool. But yeah. It's about it. A new Lambo Temerario. It's already in the DTM? Crazy. That car feels so new. Cool then. Yeah, Midnight Club 2 was also 2003. I'm not sure if I would compare this to like Midnight Club though. I think it's a very different game. It caters to different tastes. But I think this is very comparable to PGR, and I think PGR was just better, even the first one. The second one definitely as well, when this came out. I'm not sure what other like alternatives you had for like closed circuit licensed car racing games on the OG Xbox. Thinking like what other like multi-platform games they were. DTM is not something I actually watched. I mean, at the moment I don't really watch any motorsport. I tried to get a little bit into F1 again, but man, the current regulations make it really hard to be interested. They make it really, really, really hard to be interested. Alright, and with that we should have the Abflug Supra. It was also our opponent the entire time. Yeah. You even get a cool graphic for this. That's actually kind of nice. The problem is, like, these cars, there's no actual gameplay reason to get them. They're not really better than anything you can just buy from the dealership, as far as I can tell. Plus, they are basically the same car class. Like, you can't really obtain a higher car class that way. Like, I think the cars we were just driving were A class in order to unlock the Abflug Supra. And this one is also A class. I don't think they're much faster. Even with upgrades. The funny thing is, since this car doesn't show its stats, you don't actually know how much the performance improves on this. It's kind of funny. So they're fun to unlock, but they don't really serve a gameplay purpose like the tuned cars here. They're just kind of there for collecting reasons, I guess. Modern F1's the worst it's ever been. I feel like there were a lot of times where people said that F1 is worse than ever. I feel like sometimes it's for good reasons, other times it's not for good reasons. Like, I remember when they introduced the Halos. I mean, this was before I started watching F1. But it was very vocal back then. That, you know, people hated the Halos. They ruined the cars, and now they already saved way more lives than not, so, you know. But then other times it's kind of understandable, like, you know, when they switch to the hybrid turbo engines. For, like, what was it, like, emissions. Yeah, saving the environment. It's like, the F1 cars, they don't even do like a fraction of what all the fucking freighters in the world are doing, or even just like the act of just transporting all the equipment from track to track. Like, you could also improve that by just making sure that the teams don't have to constantly travel long distances. Like, you mainly just stick to one continent and then eventually move on to the next continent. But no, it's the car, it's the engines of the F1 cars. I mean, it's good, like, it is an improvement, but, you know, feels like it's in the wrong area. But I feel like in some way every era of F1 is always the worst one. Like, 2021 was the worst one because of the FIA calls that were super weird. Like, every era is always the worst era in some way, but I think now there's like genuinely a point where, like, the racing itself is heavily affected, you know. And the racing itself is just not very exciting because they're just passing each other on the same straights, and you rarely see any like actual battles. I think I'll leave it here though. We can watch the ending of the game on YouTube if someone uploaded it. Let's see. But I don't really feel like doing the last couple races all the time, because they are way too punishing if you drive anything that's not a Celine, and I quite frankly don't want to grind for Celine. It's the economy in this game is completely fucked. So let's just watch the end on YouTube. Does this show the finale? I think it does. Shouts to Racing Game Archive for actually beating this game. Something I'm personally not strong enough to do. And then see, he is also driving the CTR. He is also driving the CTR. It's either this car or the Celine. Although I think this car is actually even faster. I mean, look at the difference. It's probably also fully upgraded. Actually insane. Feels like the game is on speed up. That is actually nuts. How much of a speed difference there is between all of these cars. That's also like another thing that really kind of sucks. Like if you group all the cars into like only 4 categories, you will end up with like massive gaps in performance between the slowest car in the group and the fastest car in the group. And I think that is really, really obvious here in the final car class. Like if you drive anything else that's not the CTR2 or the Celine, GG. Alright. So this is what happens when you beat the game. Nothing. Just a short image of a trophy, which probably is the same frame we saw the previous times. And that's it. That's the credits. Credits look kind of nice at least. What a game. It's also, I think he skipped the... Oh wait, what is that? The dirt race is added to the arcade mode. Wait, what is that? You unlock a dirt race. Wait, hold on. That's actually interesting. Are you telling me there's more than 3 locations in this? Okay, not really. Not really. So this is just the... Okay, this is a bit of a scam. I would have been really disappointed with this. So, this is a dirt race. Yes. That is cool. Different surface. But it's just Shibuya. They just threw on... they threw on a dirt path on the asphalt, on the existing asphalt of Shibuya. That is crazy cheap. Like, I would have gotten excited for like one more track that you unlock. Even if it's just a tiny one. Just one small track. But no, it's just Shibuya again. But now there's like a different texture for the ground and some particle effects behind the car. And I gotta be honest, the handling doesn't even look that different. The handling looks exactly the same as before. So I don't think the handling changed even. It's entirely visual, and it's a dumb visual. Because they just threw like sand or dirt over like official public roads. Which that must be a nightmare to clean up. Yeah, I don't think that guy is a G-Bues who came up with that. I mean, as a completion reward, I guess it's fine. At least there's a completion reward, like it's better than nothing. But I would feel kind of cheated. I would feel kind of cheated out of this, if I'm being honest. Okay. Yeah, I think I will leave it here though. I think with that we shall leave it here. Short stream, but I think Sunday streams, you know, we're just gonna be checking out random racing games and just playing them for like a little while. Thank you still for tuning in. Appreciate it. It's the first time in a while that I stream 2 days in a row. I'm not sure when I'll be back. I think tomorrow I'll take a day off because I need to do my taxes. Because that's so fun. So maybe I'll be back on Tuesday. We'll see. Yeah, the limit is I think, what is it, next week on Friday, right? I wanted to do it way earlier, but I slacked off. I was slacking off. So yeah, thanks for hanging out regardless though, guys. Appreciate it. VOD for this will be on the VOD channel tomorrow as usual. And yeah, until next time, take care, take it easy, and as always, peace. See you guys.